Senator Cicarella.
Thank you, Madam President. And I rise for a few comments. I was hoping that our amendment would have got some legs and it could have addressed the concerns that I have. When we talk to our constituents, we hear a lot of different issues. Could be about a street, it could be about a state agency, unemployment, DMV, could be about something that is a challenge in their life, and it's our job to try to help them out. It could be about public safety, it could be about a lot of things. But the majority of the people I talk to me about affordability. It's too expensive for everyone. People that work their whole lives, they retire, they're on a fixed income, it's too expensive. Young professionals trying to move out of their family home, it's too expensive. Businesses that are doing business here, it's too expensive. And we need to find a way to address that. We need to be able to reduce the cost of living, and it's hard to do that when we don't reduce our spending. And we heard here today that taxes will not be increased. We heard here today it doesn't violate any of our guardrails that were put in place. But when we grow government, somebody has to pay that bill. And maybe right now it doesn't violate our spending caps and our volatility cap and our guardrails. And maybe right now it's not going to increase taxes. But I am sure it will. I'm sure it will. And also what it doesn't do is provide any relief from the high cost of living. But what it does do, and the parts that I've gotten through, it's a very, very big bill. That's just half of it. Couldn't even lift up the whole thing at once. What it does do is something that I've been advocating for with a lot of my colleagues, and that's making sure our kids have the resources they need to get a good education, a great education. And we've been talking about needing to fully fund special education, double funding ECS, giving them those tools. And we've talked about this many times, and I see, especially for my district, that we are bringing some money back. And I'm happy about that. I am thrilled, and I would support that all day long. It's a great idea. We've been saying it for a very long time. Wish we did it a while ago. But, and it also does many other good things. There's no doubt about it. But there is also a lot in this bill. I didn't fully get through it, but there's a lot of good things, a lot of great things. And I think it's going to help a lot of people. But I don't think it goes far enough. I don't think we're doing the job we need to do when it comes to reducing the cost of living, which is a big problem. I've put in bills since I've been here for bringing back program review and investigation, specifically made to find waste and fraud and abuse and minimize that. See where we're not utilizing all of the money in a very efficient way and pull some of it back. That bill hasn't passed. It's on the calendar. I hope we could get it called. But it does do a lot of good things. So I'm torn here today on, do we support the bill or do I not support the bill? But I do see things that I am concerned about. We heard, again, very expensive, bringing people to food pantries. And I see that Connecticut Food Share has a reduction of $3 million. That's a concern of mine, a big concern. And you know, we talk about affordability, and a lot of people want to blame Washington, D.C. for all of their problems. But we can't do that. Other states are more affordable. They have the same federal government we do. What's the difference? The majority has been in control here for a very, very long time. And we have to start tackling issues at a state level and doing what we can to address the problems we have here. We can't blame someone else for our issues. So I always love to work in a bipartisan fashion. We work here together as Connecticut legislators. We need to address Connecticut problems and not blame other people. And when we grow government and we don't give money back, it's more expensive. It's just common sense. And I will summarize and wrap up, but there's something else that I seen pop in this very large piece of legislation before us. And last night, good Representative Joe Zullo spoke on the floor about Tweed Airport, and he spoke very eloquently and laid out the concerns that he hears from our constituents, and again, that's what we're supposed to do. And the bill was PT'd, but I find it back in here. And when you look at it, it actually says if something happens, Connecticut is going to provide some cover for the damage that may come to that town, that great town where I grew up. I don't think it goes far enough. I don't think there's enough protections. I think we should get more. It will change the trajectory of that town and the makeup of that town for a very long time. And I don't think it goes far enough, but it frustrates me more that my residents didn't get a chance to have their voice heard. It didn't have a public hearing. And for years, even before this came before us, when we talked to them, they were like, we know we live near an airport. We know this. But we want to know what else is coming. We hear this, but no one answers our questions. There's closed door meetings. We don't get to be in there. They want to have transparency. And when I see that in there, it's really hard for me to see that because I'm like, wow, they're right. I mean, no public hearing. It's shoved in this big piece of legislation with yet a lot of very good things. I'll repeat that again. But that's not a good way to legislate when you shove everything into one vote. And I can't repeat that enough. And I share the concerns of my residents, and I will take the section and bring it to them and be able to say what we think it does, but it has specific language. It talks about if construction starts, they're going to be given some money to alleviate the concerns and what they're going to need for public safety, the roads, and many other things. But there's very specific language in there. It talks about parking spots. 2,000 and something parking spots. If we have 1,900 parking spots, do we not get the money? Those are the concerns. Those are the things that would have been great to get flushed out in a public hearing. But we didn't have that chance. And we have to do better. We have to do better with transparency. We have to do better with affordability. And I look forward to listening to the rest of this debate. And I'm going to go back in my office and finish reading this bill to decide what I'm going to do and if there is a greater positive impact on my community or if it's going to do more negative. So I thank you for allowing me to make those comments, and I look forward to the rest of the debate. Thank you, Madam President.